Gregory.
Anthony. How's it going, my friend?
Did you like the direct eye contact with the
There,
camera?
yeah, there was like an interesting little bit of pause there that we just hung out for a second and then got started.
Well, yeah, sure, but they're not going to know that because we're going to probably take a little.
No, they're not. We'll just snip and cut. You
Ah,
guys don't need that little part.
snipping and cutting, buddy. It's
Absolutely.
another recording day, and if I'm going to be honest, I
It
have
is.
been jazzed for this topic. I have been jazzed for this
Mm-hmm. I
whiskey.
think
I
it's
have
gonna
been
be a good
thinking
one.
about this all day, all
Yeah,
week.
I've been really excited to hop into this whiskey again. I mean, I'm not going to lie to our listeners. I have tried this one already. We did have it a little while ago. So I'm very, very happy to open it back up and dive back in.
I got to open mine because I gave you your bottle as a present and drank like a bunch of
Yeah.
it. And so now I have my bottle all to me.
Yeah, we definitely drank at least half of it when we first got it. It's very good.
So good. But uh
So do we want to
let's clue them in.
introduce the whiskey and then introduce the topic?
Let's clue them in. Let's I think we have there's a nice transition in the whiskey part of the conversation that transitions nice and smooth to the
It
topic
does. It
topic.
definitely does.
Uh
So you
well,
want to give us the breakdown on this one?
well, dear readers, sorry, I've been watching Bridgerton. Um, it is the Stoll and Wolfe, the Klein Farm Rosan Rye, and it is a very special whiskey. Um,
Mm.
I know Greg and I both did some research and some reading, and it really ties into our topic for the day because Rosan Rye basically was extinct. Like it was
Mhm.
used in the early 1900s, and then in the 30s through the 50s, like heavily branded, heavily marketed, heritage grain. 38 states grew it. PA was a big one. And then it basically got
Mhm.
reduced all the way down to Michter's was like the last one using it. And then the supply drew up because there's an island in Michigan, South Manitowoc
Mhm.
Island, where they grew it. Because what happened all across the country is it would cross pollinate with other strains, it would lose its texture and flavor and everything else. So once that farm stopped making it, there wasn't any more pure
Gone.
Rosen. It was gone.
Yeah.
There was no pure strands. Literally, the
Mhm.
only pure Rosen rye strands up until not all that long ago, like 2015 ish, were frozen in the USDA seed vault in Colorado. Like that was it. And then
Mhm.
Dick Stoll was the head distiller at Michter's that we've had on here before. So he was the head distiller at Michter's, and then he worked.
We've had Michter's. We have not had the head distiller of Michter's on our podcast,
That would
but
be terrifying because he's
if they do
dead.
want to come on, they are
So,
more than welcome to.
well, he died.
Yeah. So maybe he's here.
Maybe he's here in spirit as we review his masterpiece, which is so that.
And for our Halloween episode,
Just dead distillers episode.
yeah,
That's
oh
honestly
no,
not a
oh
terrible.
no.
That's not a terrible idea. We're gonna put a pin
We'll
in
see.
that.
We'll see.
So anyway, he did get to try it before he died, but he worked. They brought him in. So it's the Wolf brothers, and then they brought in Dick Stoll. And he was making Michter's was the last one to use Rosen Rye. And the like last batch was in the 70s. But this is the first pure Rosen Rye produced in over 50 years. Um,
Mhm.
and it's a my bottle, I didn't realize that they were aged different. Mine was aged 58
Mhm.
months.
As was mine.
Okay.
Mine was also 58 months. Which barrel room was yours in?
One.
As was mine.
Yeah, well, I literally bought them next. It's a PA distillery. There's not a ton of these.
Oh, you bought them at the same time?
I bought them at the same time. So they're probably
That
from
makes
the
sense.
same.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they are.
Yeah. And they're
These
not
are not
single
hard to
barrel,
find.
right?
They're not single barrel. They are blended together.
No.
But they are.
Mhm.
There's not a ton of them, and they're not. Admittedly, to your viewer, they are. It's It's on the more expensive side of whiskey, but worth it.
Good. I think it's time to pour a
Okay.
glass. I didn't get a great pop out of that one. Ooh, that was a good
That
pop.
was not bad. That was not bad. You're not going to hear the glugs because I turned noise suppression on.
Nah, I just poured mine away from the mic anyway, because.
Yeah, so
All right, let's see what we got here.
the it's a heritage grain, so that normal rye spice that you get, that like harsher spice, is not supposed to be here, and I'll just pretend like I haven't drank half a bottle. I get
It's really neat, interesting on the nose.
I get lemon.
I don't know if I get. I get.
Not like a pine solly lemon, like a lemon
There
rind,
is,
like
yeah,
a
I see
lemon,
what you're
like an
saying. Yeah,
oily
yeah, yeah. Like,
lemon rind.
there's a little bit of like an acidity to it. I get a sweet. There's a lot of sweet notes to it,
Yeah.
and it's interesting though. But I mean, it's 106 proof, so it's definitely one that'll bite. But it doesn't smell. There's no acetone smell. There's no heavy
Yeah.
alcohol smell to it. It smells very mild.
I mean, you get the, like, I get the rye smell. Cheers.
Mm-hmm. Cheers, sir.
Eh. So good.
It's very good.
It's
It's very
so
good. There's
good.
definitely more of a Kentucky kiss on this one than the Henry McKenna 10-year that we did last week, which are both 100 round 100 proof.
Yeah, they're close.
But it doesn't have the rye burn is so mild. It's got a little bit on the back end, but
Yeah.
nothing crazy. A little bit of tongue numbing
Yeah, I was
going
gonna say,
on.
I get it like right on the, like, that, the sides of my tongue, just like that, a little bit of that spiciness that you get
Mhm.
from a rye, but I mean, it's not. For anybody that is a long time listener, we have established that I'm, for all intents and purposes, not really a rye drinker.
Also, I am neither.
But I
But
do like a good occasional
this was
rye.
good.
I do like Michter's rye, and honestly, depending on how quickly I drink this, I might run to the libation store and snag another bottle before they run out of them. Because it's
Yeah,
just,
honestly, it's almost like a spicy bourbon. It's like bourbon with a little bit more of a kick because it's got a bit of a mild sweetness. It doesn't have the real like deep flavors that you get in bourbon,
mhm.
but it's got a little bit of that like light sweetness on the tongue, and then sort of a little bit of a like a numbing, light burning taste. But it
there's
is delicious. And it
there's
goes down
almost
so
like
easy.
a there's it's like a silky-ish mouthfeel though. Like, you know how like
Mhm.
some
Yeah,
bourbons,
it
like
does
you
have
get
an
like that
interesting
dry
mouthfeel.
finish. This, it's almost like,
Hmm.
oily is not the right word, but like silky-ish.
Hmm.
It's like a
Yeah, it's
silky.
smooth. It's got like a smoothness to it. It's almost like it's a little bit more viscous
It's like coating it.
than other. Yeah, but it is delicious.
Oh my
And
god, that's good.
like you were talking about, I'm very happy that they brought this grain back from extinction to really share it with the world and show us the things that can be done with old grains and things that we have lost from our time on Earth.
Yeah. So I
Which kind of
mentioned
brings us
was
into our topic.
yeah, because I was gonna say I mentioned the PA one. But Rosan rye actually originated in Michigan and is now being grown again on South Manitowoc Island, specifically for the
Mhm.
purposes of mammoth distilling.
Mammoth distilling.
Wonder how that plays in.
So, uh, our topic for today, because as you know, this is something neat where we drink something neat and then discuss something neat. And our topic today is actually a company called Colossal Biosciences, whose mission is to really try to um, bring back and quote unquote heal the world by restoring some of the lost ecosystems and combating the current biodiversity crisis that we have since we're doing a great job as human beings of getting rid of species off the face of the earth. So they're trying to see what they can do using different genetic engineering techniques to actually bring some species back that we have lost. Some of them are woolly mammoths. They're looking at dire wolves that they've worked on. I think they've. What else would they do?
The
Uh,
moa, the dodo,
Moa dodo. Yep.
which the
Couple
dodo,
fun birds. Well, I don't know if I
frankly,
would
the
call them Moa
dodos.
fun, but
No, the moa is fucking terrifying, and we'll deal with that in a minute.
they
But
are kind of terrifying.
it's not. The more I looked it up, sure we hunted the dodo, but I'm pretty tired of humanity as a
Mhm.
whole taking full responsibility for the extinction of the dodo. So it wasn't just the hunting thing. The dodo lays a single egg on the ground. Humans brought rats, and the rats ate the eggs. That's not necessarily our fault.
What do you mean that's not necessarily our fault?
That's
Wait. Let's get
collateral
back up. They
damage.
lay a
Sorry.
single egg on the ground.
Yeah, dodos.
Collateral damage.
Yeah,
That's
dodos.
direct damage from
Yeah,
humans moving their population to different places. It's similar to what we do even to other people when, for instance, the Spanish explorers came to South America and just spread disease throughout the whole place. Humans are great at transporting things from one place that they are native to and bringing them to a place that they are not native to and destroying the ecosystem there.
okay, but I do want to point out that if it's not intentional, it is literally the definition of collateral damage.
I'm not saying it's not collateral damage, but I am saying that it is directly due to human involvement that the dodo bird is dead.
Yes. Oh no, 100%.
Try to
I'm just
rebut
saying.
that.
I'm just saying we
Yeah,
didn't
no,
meet.
there's no rebuttal there.
It's not like the bison where like we shot it to extinction out of a train. Like we
Yeah.
accidentally brought the thing that really helped the dodo
Yeah.
just extinct, and then we beat the rest of them to death with clubs
Yeah.
because they
Yeah,
they
and then we
had no
just killed the rest
natural
of them
they had
because
no
they're
natural
tasty.
predators. They couldn't defend
Yeah.
themselves. They're like sunfish of the land.
Yeah. Sunfish of the land. Except sunfish are huge and hard to take out. But
They just no
but
fight,
either
no
way,
fighting
yeah,
them.
no fight. And I don't think sunfish taste that good, so we have no reason to kill them. That's really their saving grace.
Yeah.
But yeah, dodos are one of the ones that they're trying to bring back, which I think is cool just from like an interesting standpoint. I think that they're trying to kind of, like I said, combat the effect that humans have had on the different populations with that one. But they're also looking at some species that could help with the ecosystem a little bit. Like I think the dire wolves that they're working on are supposed to be a little bit more focused on healing an ecosystem.
Mammoths
Uh,
too. They like so
and yeah.
apparently for they did like ecological studies for all the ones that they're picking.
Mhm.
And then well, so some of them they plan on releasing back in the wild, and then some of them they plan on releasing in like massive preserves. Like the moa is supposed to go into like big preserves on New Zealand. For those that don't know what the moa is, it's like an 11-foot tall ostrich that's
Yeah,
not that doesn't take too
they're a
kindly.
little terrifying.
I think that the people of New Zealand did great hunting it to extinction. I think that was the smartest thing they could have done.
Yeah, I don't know that I would agree with that because I think a lot of hunting to extinction. I mean, in a time I can understand in the past when it was a problem for us to have these big predators breathing down our throat, but I think these days we can do a much better job of sort of keeping them away from us so that they're not really going to have a big effect on us.
Sure, but like I think 400 or 500 years ago sounds about right for the moa, maybe seven. Um, like
Mhm.
yeah, dude, I would have
Oh,
hunted
it's terrifying.
11-foot tall terror
Yeah, it was a
chickens to death
different
too.
it was a different time, but it also took that massive predator out of the ecosystem where it belongs and then messes up the rest of the ecosystem that relies on that doing like thinning the herds and taking things down to a place that allow other animals to grow where they're supposed to. So it's really important to have those apex predators where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, New Zealand's a weird. New Zealand's weird. The Moa's weird. I don't. That whole one is.
Yeah,
If there's one on
yeah,
their
because it
list,
goes. It's the same thing as like yeah, but it's also yeah. I will go with you. The Moa is probably the most terrifying one on their list, next to the dire wolves. But at the same time, the dire wolves are also ones that were something that it's an apex predator, that like it's a big part of the ecosystem, that it's important to keep the ecosystem strong, and without them it's the rest of the ecosystem's not going to flourish. It's similar to, I think last week, did we talk a little bit about the
yeah, we
wolves in
talked about the
Yellowstone,
wolves
I
in
believe?
Yellowstone,
Yeah, we
and
touched on that a little
yeah,
bit, and it's a similar situation that um, the reintroduction definitely helped a lot of the ecosystem in Yellowstone. Maybe not quite as much of as an effect as they
wanted.
originally said it was, but they definitely did have a positive effect on the ecosystem.
So one thing that Colossal is doing that's also super intentional is so not just like the ecological studies like you're talking about and like picking the ones that are going to help. Um, the thing that I think is super cool, and that I'm I was surprised in my research that they actually put that much thought into it, is they're
Mhm.
doing all of this research and all the genetic testing, and they're developing all these techniques. The main ones that they're doing is a placental mammal, a marsupial, and a bird. So like
Oh, I didn't realize that part.
once they get the techniques down for doing it,
Mhm.
the techniques themselves and the science themselves is
Mhm.
replicable across. That's why that's one of the reasons why they picked the dodo. Their first picks, like if you go
Yeah.
back and look at their other videos, their first picks were the Tasmanian tiger, which is marsupial,
Mhm.
the dodo, and the mammoth. So you have like because
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
what works for bringing a mammoth back to life is not the same as what works for bringing a
Mhm.
bird back to life, because of the way that
Yeah, it's two
like
different modes
it
of
just
conception. Like
doesn't
they're
even, yeah.
yeah.
But they're the cool
Yeah,
the
it's
way
like a
that
similar process at the base level, but like actually making it work after they come out. I think the placental mammal and the marsupial are probably a little bit more similar, but once you get into like an actual like egg being laid, then it's a completely different method for reproduction. So
because it's so
yeah, I
that's
think
the
that
way that
that's
it
really cool.
works is like it's like several extra steps, because they
Hmm.
have to get the it's the what is it, germ something germ cell. I don't remember what the first word is.
Yeah, the germ cell. So I think it's just, pretty much what they're doing is they're taking a so they're finding specimens of these extinct animals, whether they're frozen or um, some kind of bone fragments that they have, and they're going into those and finding the actual genomes of the animals and piecing it together from the kind of broken bits that they can get from this. And then once they get the full genome together, they compare it to the genome of a living animal. So, for instance, like the woolly mammoth one that they're working with, they compared it to the Asiatic elephant, and they were a close match, the close relative. So they took the DNA from that they pieced together from all of the different samples that they had, and they took that and implanted it into an Asian elephant egg, so that it acted as though that DNA was the one that was already in the egg, and then put that egg into an animal, into the actual mammoth to, or not the actual mammoth, the actual elephant, to incubate, where it grows the same way as it would for a normal elephant baby, and then they give birth to a mammoth. So they've worked on that. I don't think they've done mammoths yet, but they
No,
have done mammoth mice, which
they're
is fun. So they
so
gave
fucking
mice a
cute.
lot of woolly mammoth genes.
Which is I don't
They're just little fluffy mice.
first of all, so fucking cute. But also,
Yeah.
so this that whole thing is exactly what they're doing. But and this is where they lost me. This is where you lose me. I get
Hmm.
like de-extinction, their coined phrase, all of that. what they're also doing, so their goal is not to bring them back in like their original format. They want to bring these species back in, they're using the technology and they're using their labs and their acumen and all of that, not just to compare the genomes, replicate them, and recreate woolly mammoths or dodos, or in the case of the ones that they've actually already successfully done, sort of the dire wolves,
Hmm.
is that they are taking it and then they are making tweaks specifically. They are doing tweaks to make them more adaptable and more suited for either the environments that they went extinct in, or like today's world. So that sounds cool until you like really like take a quick step back and like, okay, cool, I didn't make dire wolves. I
Hmm.
created a brand new species that's never existed before that's really similar to dire wolves. The problem is, no, it's a new species. If
Yeah.
its genome's different, it's new.
Yeah,
And
so well, the genome's not specifically different. It's the same thing as selective breeding. They're just doing it quicker. They're just doing this. It's the same thing as like genetically modified foods and stuff. Like it's just taking selective breeding and speeding up the process instead of waiting for generation after generation after generation to have the traits that you want to select for. They're just selecting for them genetically from the start rather than having to slowly do it over hundreds of years like we've done with other animals.
yeah, but
So I don't it's pretty much similar to how we get dog breeds or something like that from wolves. It just takes a lot less time.
yeah, but you can like
So I don't see the like I don't see
you
it as
but
a big
you
issue.
so first of all, it's, I mean, you're not really, I get the coined phrase. You technically, you're not really de-extincting something. You're just creating something really close. If you fuck with it, if
I
you're
mean, they're de-extinct. They're no, because they're de-extincting it, but then tweaking it to the place like where, like, for instance, bananas. Let's or no, bananas aren't
terrible
great.
example because
Um,
bananas are all a
yeah, I
clone
guess
of
we
the
can go with
same
bananas, but
banana.
like
All bananas are
it
the
is,
same
but
banana.
well, crop that we currently eat are, but they all started from something that kind of vaguely resembled a banana. That was just this little thing that had a lot of seeds in it. It tasted vaguely like a banana, but there wasn't a whole lot of actual fruit to eat on the bananas, and they're just small little pod kind of things like a shrunken banana.
Sure.
Then over years and years and years, we selected for the banana that's bigger, the banana that's more yellow, the banana that has less seeds, and got it to a point that now we have bananas like we have right now that are much bigger, don't have seeds, and taste like we want them to. So over that time, it's still a banana. It's just the banana that we want it to be. So it's the same thing with this. It's still a dire wolf. It's just a dire wolf that we're looking for it to be.
But yeah, I get that. But this is like, there's no regulation on this. This is just like a company that is developing the technology to just make whatever animal it wants. It like
I mean, don't get me wrong.
who's
I'm
gonna stop
completely
it from
for
making a,
regulating this process. I
who's
definitely
gonna
think it needs to
stop
be
them from
regulated.
making a 10-foot tall armored dire wolf and selling it to some, like, I'm not saying that they're going to use animals as
Yeah,
weapons, but like all of this
I'm
is transferable to humans. This technology is
I am with
passable.
you. Yeah. I'm definitely with you on that argument. I definitely think that there needs to be some sort of a regulation. Someone needs to be looking at it from an outside perspective, some kind of a board or something of scientists that can uh approve whether this is a good idea or not. But uh right now, I think you're right. I don't think that there is enough regulation into it. There's not enough people looking into it, and you're kind of relying on the company working within the best interests of the people and hoping that they maintain that level of morality that they're supposed to be maintaining.
And just to be clear, my issue is not with the mission, the people. Like, I think this
Hmm.
company is genuinely trying to do good.
I
And
think they're good. Yeah, I
I
think
think
there's
they're
a
doing
potential for
crazy, they're
problems.
doing crazy things. But
Hmm.
when
Yeah.
you create a technology where you can just like, at some point they're going to get really good at it, and it's and someone else is going to figure it out, or they're going to share it with someone, or someone that's in there
Hmm.
isn't gonna have the best of intentions, and like, you're you are opening yourself up. I mean, you are
You are opening
literally,
Pandora's box.
yeah, it's just like, and you're not, it's sort of, it's kind of similar in a way. It's sort of similar to the AI argument. Like one of the things that they're working on, I don't know if it's that company specifically or if it's like one of their other like side companies.
Mhm.
But they're, instead of having to use surrogates for the first batch of the creatures, they are literally developing,
Mhm.
I forget the word, exigent, no, it, essentially artificial wombs. They are as a company in the process
Mhm.
of developing
Just
artificial
kind of like.
wombs to just grow these
Mhm.
creatures like start to finish in a lab.
So I kind of think that's okay, in my opinion,
Again,
just
I don't
because
have a
I
problem when you do it
see.
with animals.
Oh. You don't want test tube babies?
No, it's how the that's this is how the Matrix starts, because the AI is going to get a hold of the company and it's going to start putting us into tubes.
The machines are getting too smart. All right.
That's a whole
AI
nother
is a little
topic for
terrifying. We'll
that's
definitely
another
have to do.
topic
We'll
for
have to
another
do a
day.
topic on AI. I
I
think that's
mean,
a whole nother thing. I will say they are doing something cool with AI with one of their sort of spin-off companies. Because the Colossal Biosciences is actually investing in a couple of other companies
mhm,
that are using their technology for different stuff. And one of them is called Form Bio, and they're using the genetic approach that Colossal is kind of pioneering, and they're using AI designs and analysis to use it to combat disease,
mhm,
which I think is pretty cool and kind of goes with a lot of the other um, therapies like CAR T cell therapy and other genetically driven specific targeted therapies that they're putting out. So I'm all for that kind of stuff.
yeah. Well, they just did with all the
Yeah.
stuff that they were doing with the mammoth. They had so much info about the
Mhm.
Asian elephant genome that they created an elephant specific vaccine to combat a specific virus that is the number one cause of death
Really?
for Asian elephant babies.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
Because I
I
think
mean,
aren't Asian
that's
elephants, I think, are endangered, aren't they?
fucking probably one out of every 10 species is it. I just
Yeah.
want to point out that like 99% of all the species that's ever lived
Yes,
are
they are
extinct.
endangered.
Just not like 99% of the
Well,
species that
I
have
mean,
ever lived are
that's like
extinct.
that is a horrible way to look at things because we are right now in such like a little tiny blip of time compared to like the whole time as a whole. It's probably like 99.99999% of species are extinct right now that ever existed. Like that's kind of how it works. The problem is what's happening right now with a lot of extinction is it's extinction brought on because of things that people are doing. It's not like a natural extinction that's like from like an evolution standpoint. It's an extinction because humans have either encroached on their territory or have hunted them to extinction like we were talking about. And so it's not really like the usual way of things in a natural sense.
Well, sure, but we're animals. We like, if I want to play devil's advocate, like we're no different
Mhm.
than, like, we're a natural phenomenon occurring on the planet. Like in it objectively,
We
how
are,
different
but we're an
object
anomaly.
yeah, but like, well, we think, I mean, we're not going to talk about aliens right now, but
Yeah, we are
objectively, yeah, in the
valid.
grand scheme of things, sort
Yeah,
of,
we're
we
there's
think so. But you know what else is an anomaly? A fucking
I mean,
asteroid.
well, yeah,
we
but
don't
at the
stack
same
up
time,
to
it's
we
still
don't we
like
don't
a,
stack
a
up to that number.
natural thing.
Fucking
No,
there's
I mean,
a couple
well,
of them.
actually, I think we do. Is
There's no
the
shot.
terrible thing is I think we do. Like
There's
that's really the
buddy.
part is like
There's
there's so
no
many things that
chance.
we have taken out that we are probably on that
I'll bet a point.
level.
I'll
I'm
bet a
trying to
point on
remember
that.
the.
I'll bet a point on that.
Wait, give me a second.
The
Let me look at
Pleistocene,
the
no, not the
figures because there
Pleistocene
was
epoch.
something.
The extinction event right before the Triassic.
The asteroid kaboom.
No, no, not the one that took out the dinosaurs. The
Uh,
other one.
oh, that's the one I was talking
Now,
about.
the other one. There's one pre that wiped out like
Yeah.
80% of life on the planet.
So, I mean,
There's
again,
been
I'm looking at
multiple mass
Colossal
extinction
Sciences.
events. We're not
There
one of
have
them.
been. I think we might be. I
There's
really think we might be. I mean,
we
think
are
about
nowhere near responsible for the death of 80 buddy. I'll put a point on this. I'll fucking run the numbers.
I mean, again, I'm looking at Colossal Biosciences website, so there could be some bias here. There could be some
Yeah,
bias here.
probably just a little
Uh,
bit.
yeah, probably a tad because
Probably
it's
just
their
because they're
whole
fundraising and
mission.
it's their literally the
It's
entire
literally their
mission.
whole mission of yeah, it is the mission of the company.
Same
But
reason they say they're
according to
de-extincting animals,
them,
but they're just making new ones anyway.
there's 30,000 species per year on average that are being driven to extinction. 6 per hour, 150 per day, up to 55,000 per year, which I'm kind of confused with because there's 30,000 on average, but up to 55,000 per year. So I'd have to look at what their
Yeah,
actual
they're
numbers
so
are here. But
I actually in doing some research I fact
we're, we're,
checked.
we're killing a lot of stuff. We're
No,
killing
but
a lot of
look
stuff.
again. So like their chief science officer said like that she in like an interview was like
Mhm.
scientists say that 50% of the species on the planet will be extinct by 2050, and that's not the actual stat.
By 2050.
Yeah,
Yep.
but no, but the actual stat is that 50% of the life on Earth might be in danger of going extinct. Like it's close, but it's not saying the same thing. I'm not shitting on their mission. I'm just saying
I know what
from an
you're saying.
objective
But I
standpoint,
but
we
I
are
think
not the worst thing that's happened.
I'm saying we are one of the worst thing that's happened. Maybe not the worst,
We are a
but I think we're
driver
up
for
there.
change.
I
We're a
definitely think we're
driver
up
for
there.
evolutionary change. Any species that can stick around needs to stick around with
I
us.
mean, no, not yeah. We make them very strong, or we like to eat them, so they will live forever. AKA chickens and cows. We
I,
will forever have chickens and cows,
urban raccoons are
regardless of how bad they are at living.
urban raccoons are literally selectively breeding themselves to become cuter and more docile so that we will eventually they're essentially doing what dogs and cats did.
So that's natural evolution. That makes sense. That's how that goes.
Well, if
But either
Colossal had their
way,
way,
I
they'd
do
stick them in
think
a
that
test tube and
the what Colossal
fucking
Biosciences is doing is really interesting.
mm, super cool. Super cool.
But yeah,
Horrifying.
I think they have a very interesting mission, and I think that they are doing some cool stuff. And I think that their technology has some cool applications in different places outside of actually what they're doing specifically. I mean,
Sure.
they're using CRISPR, so they are using it for a lot of other stuff. But
Yep.
the stuff that they're doing does have possible really big impacts. So I think it might be about that time to hop into our listicle section.
Yeah, so
Listicle? Is that the word that I'm looking for? That doesn't sound like the right word.
listicular.
Listicular, our listicular section.
I don't love that.
Our next section.
I don't like. Well,
lists.
I mean, it's
listicle and listicular are bad.
I mean, it's a gamete reference.
Oh no, let's not talk about game. All right, our
We
gamete
literally
section.
just talked about gametes for like.
Our...
We didn't say the word, but it's what we were talking about.
But anyway, so we have a list of things that we wanted to talk about for this episode, and our lists are our top 3 things to bring back, and one thing that we want to make sure never comes back. I don't know, Anthony, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So one thing really quick. I do want to preface that all of this conversation we did. I am that whole thing. I am so proud of us for not bringing up Jurassic Park one time. I truly am.
Yeah, no, it didn't come up naturally. I think I'm surprised it didn't come up naturally, but yeah.
Well, see, I think I caught you off guard because I think you thought that I was going to be anti this company because I don't want giant lizards running around. Yeah, I don't care about that because we can't. Fossils are stones. There's no DNA. There is no bringing dinosaurs back unless we get really good at like reversing the evolution of a chicken, which I don't see. Like, there's no bringing it back.
Or we find, or if we find DNA in a piece of amber or something
No,
from a mosquito that
Amber. Oh,
drank it
you're
off
being
of.
facetious. Okay, got it.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so
yes,
for the
yes, I am.
record, amber is extremely porous and allows for microbe transfer and would still not be able to preserve DNA longer than the 10 to 20,000 years that you kind of have like a time frame on.
Good to know.
Yeah, just so you know. Just so everyone knows, we're not bringing dinosaurs back.
Yeah. Well, so let's get to our list. Let's get to our lists.
So,
It is time for lists.
so my first one is just I think one of the coolest looking, like from what we can tell, one of the coolest looking animals, and it's the Irish elk, which lived right around that same mammothy time, like dominated Europe. But it's like,
They are really neat. Those are the giant like elks. Yeah.
yeah. So imagine like an elk, but it's like 7 foot to 8 foot tall at the shoulder and has like 12-foot horns.
Hmm. Yeah, they are unnecessarily large. Yeah, I've definitely seen them in pictures next to woolly mammoths. And is there a reason that you think that we should bring them back, other than them just being freaking cool?
Well, I think they look super cool. And I think they would be awesome to hunt. So, and like, I can't imagine, like, I want to own a house
Okay.
large enough to put
12-foot
an Irish
antlers.
elk for a 12-foot antler. So they actually think that the antlers themselves were part of the reason they went extinct because it took so much energy just to grow and then also like
Truly.
move your head.
And they probably shed them every year, like other
Exactly.
antlered animals too. So they
A,
have to regrow them every
a
year. Yeah,
wildly
that's a lot of
inefficient
energy.
species. Wildly inefficient species.
Hmm.
And early human pops in Europe hunted them.
Hmm.
So,
All
but
right,
yeah,
you
Irish
want to
elk.
do your second two, or should I dive into
Yeah,
my first one?
hit me, buddy. I'm curious.
Ah, I am going with the passenger
The
pigeon.
passenger
I
pigeon.
think they were a very, yeah, passenger pigeons. Yeah, you're gonna see that mine are much more uh, based on use. You can actually use them. They're very good at kind of like the homing reflex, but they also were a huge part of the ecosystem for a long time. I mean, it wasn't until the early 1900s that they were hunted to extinction by humans. So I think that they would be something that have not been out of the ecosystem that long, and I think they could come back for their niche and do good things for our world.
Oh yeah, we hunted the shit out of them.
Less cool, but yeah, we hunted the shit out of them because they're used to like literally be flocks that would just block out the sky because they
Yeah.
were so big. And then we took them all out.
Yep. A lot of people get them confused. They think because of the name's passenger pigeon, they think that it's the same as like a carrier pigeon or like messenger pigeon, which for the record are not extinct.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, they're different. They're different. You're right,
So there's
but I
so
think it's more of an ecosystem thing. But
to loop it in really quick though, there's a pigeon species, so similar to how the Asian elephant is the closest relative to the woolly mammoth, and that's what they're using. It's
Mhm.
a I want to say it's a Canadian
Mhm.
pigeon species that they're using for the dodo. It's the closest relative
Mhm.
to the dodo is there
Ah,
it's a pigeon species that they're
to try
using.
to bring. I actually did find that there is a company similar to Colossal called Revive and Restore that is actually working on bringing back passenger pigeons. So there is a chance that they will come back in the modern era.
There's also an endangered pink pigeon. Anyway,
So that would be cool. So what's your number two, sir?
my number two. Let me hold on. I
Yeah.
wrote down the pronunciation because I was saying it wrong the whole time that I was like doing this. Um, my third one is my favorite one. I think I'm saying this right. Have you ever heard of a glyptodon?
Wait, one more time.
Have you ever heard of a
Glyptodon?
glyptodon? Glyptodon? Glyptodon? It's either glyptodon or glyptodon.
No, no. I have no idea what that is.
Okay, Greg, here's what I want you to do.
Can
I
you
want
use
you
it in a
to.
sentence?
A glyptodon would be super fun to watch in a large group graze across a plane. That's
What
the
is
sentence.
it?
So here's what I want. I want you to close your eyes, Greg, and I want you to
It's a bad
picture.
sentence.
I want you to picture an armadillo. Now I want you
Okay.
to. Now I want you to
Picture.
give it. Now I want you to give it like a longer, more clubby tail, and I want you to make it the size of a fucking Volkswagen Beetle.
So like an ankylosaurus?
No, yeah,
But
but these lived like next to the
a
giant
mammal?
sloths in the Pleistocene epoch. Like these were like we're talking like 10,000 years ago. Like people walked side by side with these.
The size of a Volkswagen Beetle?
Yeah, they grew up to it's like 12
Why do we want this back?
12 to 13 feet long, and up to it's like 3 tons, and just like armored plating, stubby little legs, kind of like cows. Like it was like hooves. Like think like little hippo thing. Like they were
So it's
just
just
they were
like a little
giant fucking
tank for-
armadillos. They were giant armadillos, and they because they didn't bother anybody. They were armored. They didn't. They
Okay.
nothing was hunting them. I just think
Mhm.
I want to drive down the road and just look to my left and see
I-
a farm
I
of
have
little
this
roly
idea that they
poly.
probably were. I have this feeling they probably were harming somebody.
They weren't harming
Yeah,
anybody.
they were probably harming people. They probably were harming people.
They're
Anything that's that big
they're
and that like
herbivores.
armored has a potential to do damage.
No, well they're
So are
armored.
rhinoceros.
They're armored.
They're pretty. They're not very. You know what else is an herbivore? A hippopotamus. A hippopotamus is a big herbivore.
Technically, hippopotamuses are omnivores.
They kill more people than anything else.
Mosquitoes, but anyway, technically hippopotamuses
so.
are
I think they're
omnivores.
herbivores.
Buddy, they are definitely omnivores.
I'm pretty sure they're herbivores. Are we trying to point this one?
I'll point this one. They're definitely omnivores. Now,
We'll point
now
this
I
one?
will
All right,
I will say
I will Google right now.
Google right now, but I will say that they do primarily eat vegetables, but they will eat meat. They are omnivorous.
Hippos are considered primarily herbivores, with diets consisting almost exclusively of grass, often consuming 110 pounds of grass per night.
And
Yeah,
and
I think I win.
and but just do hippos eat meat?
While they are not classified as carnivores, they have been observed occasionally consuming meat, carrion, or prey due to nutritional stress or behavioral quirks. So they are not omnivores. It's out of stress that they have been seen sometimes grazing on meat.
Yeah.
Their diet is short grasses, plants, and sometimes fruits.
I'm omnivorous, and I will sometimes eat vegetables out of distress.
I got that point, motherfucker. I win.
Fine.
I win that one.
For those that don't know, and we'll restart for season 2. For
That
those
one's
that don't
fine.
know, Greg and I if we have a disagreement, Greg and I keep
we didn't
track
say
of
anything.
points. We didn't, but we're bringing it back for season 2. So you are up 1-0 season 2.
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
1 point, 0 points.
Okay, what's your
All right,
second
we need
one?
to move
Since I
on
want
to
the
my second.
since I wanted the Volkswagen
Number 2.
armadillo.
Yeah, no, yours are way more interesting than mine because I went way more practical than you did. I think you went for cool factor. I think a heath hen would be really good for the environment.
Fucking would.
The heath hen. It's also known as the greater prairie chicken.
Oh, I'm familiar with the heathen. It was on the list of things I looked up. I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah. It became extinct in 1932. Yeah, I'm sure you thought it was dumb. Again, something that humans hunted to extinction.
Sure.
That we took out of the ecosystem that should still be there. And if we could bring it back, it would probably have positive impacts on the ecosystem. And also, I don't know about you, but I'm a huge fan of like Cornish game hens and grouse and stuff like that.
They're delicious.
And I think we should get farms of these things because they're probably delicious, and I would like more fun animals like that.
So we can sustainably harvest them to
So yeah,
extinction.
that's my number two. Again, not anywhere near as fun as yours. Not anywhere near as
Uh,
fun as yours.
this is why I like doing the
But
lists,
you want to
especially
hit
when
us
we
with your
don't.
number three?
Yeah, this is why I like doing the lists, especially when we don't see the lists between the two of us, because this is such a great
Mhm. Oh yeah,
demonstration
this
of the
was
dichotomy
completely
between our
yeah.
thinking. Because my third one's not even, we've established it's
Yes,
not a
I
possibility. But my third one is, and I will not be giving an explanation, it is self explanatory, the Triceratops.
Why? Why would you want to bring back a triceratops? No, I'm gonna make you give an explanation, even though you said no explanation. I need it.
It's
I need an
it's
explanation.
it's the coolest dinosaur. It's the coolest dinosaur.
I mean, they are pretty cool. I'll definitely give you that. But like, it's also a dinosaur, and like, why would we want to bring back dinosaurs?
Well, at least I picked one that has a shearing beak and thousands of teeth, hundreds of teeth, maybe 1,000.
Hundreds of really? I didn't know they had teeth.
Yeah. So they had they were just they were basically biomechanical threshers by all the evidence we can find. Also,
Mhm.
they were one of the last non-avian dinosaurs.
Really?
Mhm.
That's kind of cool. So they lasted a long time even after the asteroid struck.
Yeah, so they were post.
That's
They
cool. I
were
didn't know that about them.
yeah,
I
they were at the same time as the T-Rex, which is uh I forget exactly how it
Mhm.
goes, but it's like the T-Rex was closer to the
Late
building of the
Jurassic, early Triassic, right?
yeah, it's like fairly late as far as it's like pretty late.
Something like that. I don't. I honestly, I just said that, and I do not remember that stuff at all from my bio classes in high
Nah,
school.
they were
Um,
Triassic. It was late.
but
It was a late dinosaur before they all started
no
getting really
Triassic.
birdy. They all started getting real bird like.
Hmm. Nice,
It's just it's the coolest dinosaur. I like I said,
nice.
I
Well,
no
I
explanation
will
needed.
say, I think they were one of my favorite dinosaurs too. I'm not gonna them and Stegosaurus. I used to love Stegosaurus. I think that they were super cool too. Just spike tails. Who doesn't want spike
I
tails?
was between those two.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad we're on the same page there. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Can we just become best friends? Velociraptor,
uh,
which I would not bring back.
you would just go. Yeah, no, we should not. So my last one to bring back, you're going to be a little surprised by this one. It is not a small bird that would be good for the environment, but it would be good for the environment. But it's called the Caspian tiger. I don't know if you've seen anything about a Caspian tiger. They're pretty much Siberian tigers, but bigger.
Yeah.
And it's kind of similar to what we were talking about the apex predators, and they are something that we kind of again removed from the food chain. The last known uh, one, I think, went extinct in 2003, so moderately recently. But uh, they kind of like fulfill a specific niche in their ecosystem that if we brought them back, it would be really good. And also, there's a cool factor with this one, I think, because I mean, giant Siberian tiger. That's really cool to me.
Oh yeah.
Just massive
There
tigers.
I almost put I think it's the Bali tiger is extinct. I almost put them on my list. But not
Mhm.
cool but they're just not cooler than
Yeah,
Triceratops. So
the Indian. Well, yeah, no, I mean you're not wrong at all. I just was kind of trying to be a little bit more practical in what we were bringing into our era. I
well
don't think
sure.
that we should bring dinosaurs back from the
Okay,
grave.
frankly, only one was a dinosaur, and the rule for the list was it just had to be extinct.
That is very true. And now I think we have to get into our one that you would never want to bring back.
So I'll give you my one. I do have a quick honorable mention.
Hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with ichthyosaurs,
Okay.
like the family ichthyosaur, like the gigantic. It's a
It's
Leoplerodon, Charlie.
the
Yeah, yeah. That
mhm.
entire that
It's
entire
a Leoplerodon, Charlie.
that
Yes, yes, I
entire
do.
branch of
We,
creature
we
can
went to
stay
the
fucking dead.
yeah. I was so happy when we went to the Camden Aquarium when you came down because there is a Leopleurodon model on the ceiling, and I was just like, "Oh my god,
It's a
who put this
Leoplerodon.
here?" There was obviously someone that loves Charlie the Unicorn, uh, but
Yeah.
I've been there so many times, and I was just waiting to bring you there just so I could point at the ceiling and say, "It's a Leopleurodon."
Yeah, yeah. You know that's not the big one, right?
Uh, but yeah, so that's a good one.
You know that's not the big one,
What, the
right?
Leopleurodon?
Yeah,
They're
that's
pretty
not.
big.
Yeah, but that's not the.
There's
They're
bigger ones.
yeah. There's ones that are like a couple meters shy of fucking blue whales. Like until blue whales, they were the biggest. Oh
Really?
yeah,
I didn't know they got that
fucking.
big.
They used to just eat
Wow.
whales. Yeah, they can stay fucking dead. So that whole family can fuck right off. But my actual answer is
Yeah, no,
Titanoboa.
they can. Yeah, we don't need them. We don't need
No,
them.
my actual answer is Titanoboa, which is just
The giant boa.
yeah, just a 50-foot long
So
anaconda.
some would say that they are not actually extinct.
I'm familiar with
Some
the
would say that they're still in
in
the
the Congo.
Amazon.
No,
Yeah.
no, in the Congo. They think they're in
There's
the Congo.
accounts. Is it the Congo? I thought it was in the Amazon. But
No,
either way,
the
there's
account of flying
accounts
over and
of
seeing it.
people flying over.
Congo.
Yeah. Hmm.
Congo.
It was the Congo.
That was
Okay, okay, okay.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
But
like
either way, there's
they're
accounts that they still exist.
they are a full they're a full python longer than the longest python.
Yes, yes, they are, and a full python thicker than the thickest python. There's some big old snakes.
No, I don't need to
But yeah,
go.
I agree. I think both of those can definitely stay dead.
They can stay fucking dead.
Yeah, no, I kind of went. So you're probably gonna think my selection is also boring. Again, I was looking from, as I do, a very practical standpoint of things that are extinct that I want to remain extinct forever. And I went with smallpox because
Oh
that's
my
something we
god.
have made extinct, and I would love for it to stay extinct forever.
Sure. I mean, it's a good answer, but like, but but it's a good answer.
But
But
what? What?
but
Please give me a butt of why. What could possibly be better than making smallpox stay extinct?
because if smallpox was back and existed and like wasn't
Don't say
extinct,
what you're about to say.
no, no, no.
Just let it
I'm
go.
not. No, hold on. If small, well, okay, that would be hilarious. I didn't even think to go that way. You're a horrible person. That's not where I was going with that at all.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. No, no, don't
no, no,
go
no.
there. I mean, but
It
I thought that's exactly where you were going because I know you.
well, that's fair. If smallpox was around, I would still get on a boat. If ichthyosaurs were around, I wouldn't get on a fucking boat.
If smallpox were around, it would depend on where that boat was going and where it came from.
No, you're missing the point. I still would have a better chance of getting on that boat if smallpox existed than if there was a blue whale-sized predator that every time it heard a boat engine, it thought, "Oh, meat delivery system."
But like, so again, we're significantly over time, but we're gonna keep going
Ah,
because I have to rebut that a little bit. I see what you're saying. You're looking at the immediate threat of there being a giant thing in the ocean that could take us out. I will say our weaponry and capabilities today, if we knew that those were threats, we could easily keep them away from any boat that you're on. If smallpox was still a thing and it was in a place that you were going to that you knew that there was a smallpox outbreak, do you know, like smallpox killed 30% of the people it infected. 1 in 3 people that got infected with smallpox died.
I'm not gonna say the thing that
You
I
would
was
have a
about to say.
way better chance if your boat got attacked by an ichthyosaur than if your boat got infected by smallpox.
Okay, I want to be specific. I want to be if we're gonna be specific, Greg. If we're gonna be specific, I think you would have a better chance of your boat not being attacked by an ichthyosaur. But if your boat was attacked by an ichthyosaur, I think your chances of dying are way higher than 30%.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It could swallow whales
Maybe
whole.
ichthyosaur just eat until they're full and then leave. Most animals do.
I mean, frankly, it depends on the size of your boat.
We have guns. We have 50 caliber guns and cannons that could easily keep them at bay.
So you want to hunt them to extinction because they're dangerous.
We have missiles.
No, just to be clear, you want to hunt them to extinction because they're dangerous.
No. I want to. No. I want to not even. No, that is not what I said.
It's not what you said.
All what I said. I
think you're supporting the ancient Maori people in their war against the Moa.
Oh, all right. Before I do a kata,
Velociraptor with wings.
We should probably close it out for the night, sir.
I'm just saying that you're proposing we shoot the dangerous animal.
Final notes on the stolen wolf, Rosan rye, sir.
Stoll and wolf. Just to be clear for the listeners, not stolen wolf. Stoll and wolf. It's as good as it was when it started.
It's just good.
Yeah. I like what we did last time where we say the rating at the same time.
Oh, rating. Let me get one more taste.
That's what I'm doing. Just one more little swiggy sip. Trying to think what I gave. Okay. It's hard to not compare to the last one, but it's like an 8.7.
8.7, I think.
Yeah, you and
I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I'm
ready.
good.
I'm ready.
Right?
Count us off.
3, 2, 1.
7.9.
8 flat.
Getting closer. We're getting closer.
Same thing.
We're getting closer.
We're very close. Yeah, I think it's really good. I don't think it's quite as good as the Henry McKenna 10-year. Could be just because it's a rye and I'm much more of a bourbon person. But yeah, it is very good.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I would drink that more just because it's not a rye. If you're a rye drinker, you have to go find a bottle of this.
Mm-hmm. You will love it. Yeah, it's very good for a rye.
Yep. If you're a rye guy, you have to go to bottle this. Dude. But I think that wraps us up, buddy.
That does wrap us up, sir. And so I think we got to close us out with our usual. Cheers, sir.